How's it going, everyone? I have got a treat for you today. I am playing SWAT 2, a very classic game of eras gone by where you could, in fact, play as terrorists. And not just in Counter-Strike. We are playing the SWAT campaign today, making a new campaign. I want to keep this fast pace, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get through this campaign plenty fast. Alright, so movies are not working for me, so I will just explain what we are doing on each mission. This first mission is shooting house training against 2 actual police officers, so we are not allowed to use our guns. In fact, we don't really need to use much of anything. They're not going to fire back either, so all we need to do is run up and arrest them. So this is a great time to train up some of our guys for what we'll need. We'll need some guys with plenty of MP5 skill. Now, because your officers get skill for using it during a mission, we don't really need to train anybody who is already quite high with the MP5. You get up to 2% of a skill every time you use it in a mission. Well, the first time you use it. So anybody who's already above 90 will get to 100 naturally as we use them as in a mission. But we do want plenty of people for use as backups. I know it's a little bit boring, but this is the way it has to be, just to make sure. Okay, and then that's fine. And we're actually just going to send in the snipers and get this over and done with very quickly. This is a very straightforward mission. Nobody is supposed to fire their guns. It's meant to be a training exercise. Get used to the controls. In case you are not familiar with this game, it is a real-time tactics game, so you control your little SWAT guys around here. Now, these are snipers. They're not going to be doing any sniping. The point is to just get 2 guys in here and find the suspect and the hostage, who, again, are being played by police officers in this sort of training simulation. There's no need to send in a whole squad. It does cost you money.
Suspect under arrest.
Now, we want to arrest everybody. You do have a rescue button, but it is unreliable compared to arresting.
Don't shoot! I give up!
Arresting usually works. Rescue allows the opportunity for even an innocent civilian to run away, but if you arrest an innocent civilian, then it always captures them. They don't get that opportunity to run away. There's really no difference between the two otherwise. So we always want to make arrests. We never want to use this rescue button up here. Alright, that was...
Sergeant Griff Markosian reporting, Chief. To summarize the operation, even though this was only a training exercise, I'll be going over the proceedings in great detail. Only by learning from our mistakes can we hope to better ourselves. We got a hostage back, and quite possibly saved a life. You are to be commended for a job well done. The good news is that we've got a suspect in custody. The arresting officer will receive the appropriate commendation. In summary, this operation could not have gone better. You all conducted yourselves with great courage.
But because it was a training exercise only, none of it matters. So, that was a lot of training done. We would also like to make sure that we have element leaders as backup in case anybody gets hurt or suspended. They just need to have a certain amount of skills. There are a couple of guys who are ready to go that are not element leaders. If I can find them. They have to have 80% in a lot of stuff. He's an element leader right off the bat. Yeah, you just want to have a few spares. You don't really need that many, but you can get like 10 pretty easily. that's probably good enough. And we got a bunch of good gunners as well. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to sort by MP5 again. And all we need is, for this mission, this next one is shooting house training. This is another training simulation where friends and family are posing as terrorists and victims. So we are using blank ammunition for our guns, but we are not allowed to use tear gas or flashbangs. I consider this whole thing to be a little bit of a chore. So, my usual policy on this mission, because it is just a training simulation, is to just run in and shoot everyone. Otherwise, there's way too many suspects and hostages, and it's just a big pain in the neck. So I'd like to get... Actually, I'm going to use the battering ram only for this run. And we don't really need anything else just yet. I'm going to give MP5s to everybody. We will... Well, let's go ahead and give them flashbangs too. I'm not going to use them this mission, but they are nice to have. Just as a matter of course. Alright, so we can go ahead and get that started. And let's go.
Shake it up.
Because this is a training simulation, none of it actually matters. We're just going to run in and kill everybody. In fact, there is one downside to killing everybody. Anybody who gets fake terminated, I believe, actually loses all of their equipment. It's not a big deal, but you don't want it to happen to everybody. So as much as possible, I'm just going to use one guy so that he gets all the blame.
What took you so long to get back to me, Chief? You missed some things, but I don't have time to fill you in. Here's the current situation. Terminating negotiations. Alvarez over and out.
Oh, look, an injured guy. First kill.
Alert the paramedics.
Innocent?
Alert the paramedics.
I guess so. Remember, this is a training exercise and we are using blanks. Everybody's just plain dead. Otherwise, come on. I wouldn't really be doing this. What is this, Grand Theft Auto?
Suspect neutralized.
Trust me, if you haven't played this game before, this mission is I've probably said this twice already, but this mission is a huge pain in the neck if you do it legitimately. Because there's so many guys, so spread out, and if you only take one team, then you have to take them back to the truck, which is all the way up here in the top portion of the map, not even where you start. It's farthest away from the door as it possibly could be.
Alert the paramedics.
One more guy over here.
Suspect
That's all of them. We'll go ahead and listen to Griff again. I'll go ahead and listen to all of his debriefings.
Sergeant Griff Marcosian reporting, Chief. To summarize the operation, because this was such a complicated training simulation, we'll review the operation in detail. I'll assume we were using live ammo, and will debrief you accordingly, though officers will not be penalized for inappropriate use of their weapons. Based on the victim's simulated gunshot wounds, I'm sorry to tell you that it was rough out there today, but you officers performed with great skill and courage.
Nice.
What the hell happened out there today? Did you go freaking insane? We're paid to protect people, not murder them. Trust me, the officer or officers responsible for this tragedy will be behind bars so fast they'll think they're on greased ice.
Not my fault.
I don't even know where to begin. People, things went sour today. Very sour. SWAT is going to take a terrible credibility hit for your complete lack of professionalism in the field. We need to get our act together immediately, or the politicos and media will soon see to it that SWAT shuts down and the chief takes early retirement. All I want to know is, what the hell happened out there?
Gosh, Sorry. Okay, this next one is Father-Daughter Day, which is a very, very easy mission. There is, again, only one gunman and one hostage, and it's altogether extremely straightforward. So let's go ahead and make sure our element is all equipped. Oh, he didn't actually lose his stuff. Maybe it's when they die or something. I'm not quite sure. Well, whatever. We are ready to go, so we can send these guys out.
Shake it up.
I'm pretty much going to bust in. Usually the guy, I think, is violent and has his gun up, so you can just kill him and then rescue the child.
Alvarez reporting, Chief. Here's what we know.
And,
this shack
done
belongs
deal.
to Thaddeus Keller, a criminal lawyer here in Pasadena.
Oh, we also need to find the pills, which
is
is pretty easy. Just do that before you rescue
but we've
the
managed to
hostage.
ascertain that her husband is barricaded in the house with their 4-year-old daughter.
Weapon in high risk.
He's calling
Have a
now.
visible threat.
Hopefully,
Alert
Keller
the
will pick up
paramedics.
the phone and we can
Oh,
talk him out.
he
I'll
shot
keep
the
you
kid.
posted. Shots have been fired. Balls in your report, Chief. Over and out.
Neutralized.
Okay, find the pills. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Pills. Okay, we got the pills. Good. Kid got shot for some reason before I even got in there. But that's alright. Arrest the kid.
Suspect under arrest.
You were under arrest, kid. Should get mediocre for that. I believe that's what happens when you have an injured hostage.
Sergeant Griff Marcosian reporting, Chief. To summarize the operation, the barricaded hostage taker is SWAT's most common crisis situation. A peaceful resolution. A balance between negotiation, strategy, and assault tactics. Your thorough search and recovery procedures provided us with some valuable evidence. The lab identified the pills found in the bathroom as methylphenidate, a prescription stimulant. The suspect's irrational behavior may have been caused by an overdose. We got a hostage back, and quite possibly saved a life. You are to be commended for a job well done. You officers did good work today by taking out an armed and active threat. Though policy mandates a temporary suspension for the neutralizing officer, the appropriate medals will be awarded for your bravery in the battlefield. Someone wasn't doing his job and a suspect wounded an innocent bystander. I don't like to see that kind of shoddy police work, people. If the investigation determines officer culpability, he or she will be suspended. All in all, not a bad outcome, though I think we could have done better. There was some gunplay and resulting injuries. Whether the shooting was necessary and in policy will be determined by further investigation.
Not too bad. I mean, if the suspect just decides to shoot a hostage before you even get there, I don't know what you're supposed to do. Anyway, the next mission is Convenience Store, which is another extremely easy mission. There's a little bit of randomness involved in it, but the solution, regardless, is the same every time. Very, very easy to solve this using tear gas. So we are going to give everybody gas masks for once. And give the element leader a gas grenade launcher, and this will be pretty easy. You do get in on a little bit of a bonus for setting up snipers, and sometimes they're able to see the nationality of the clerk. But we're gonna be done with this so fast, it's not really a thing. Because all you have to do is run over, wear gas masks, and we're gonna bust in through the back door and launch gas grenades.
CNT here. This has all the earmarks of a robbery gone sour. We questioned a transient who said he was taking a leak in the alley when he heard tires squealing. He came around to the front of the store and saw 2 men in ski masks jumping out of that car. The guy ran to the gas station on the corner, and the attendant called it in. We're attempting to establish phone contact now.
Although, for some reason, this one guy doesn't get affected by the gas sometimes.
Appear to be an active threat at this time.
The others run in to make arrests.
Suspect under arrest.
Okay, I don't know what's up with this guy, but
One move and your ass is toast.
Weapon in high ready. We have a visible threat. Suspect neutralized.
I don't think that's quite what I was aiming at.
Entry denied.
Okay, that's not quite what I was going for. I accidentally shot this guy over here. Sorry. Alright, that didn't go quite the way that I wanted, but you know what? It's probably fine.
Sergeant Griff Marcosian reporting, Chief. To summarize the operation, we got a hostage back, and quite possibly saved a life. You are to be commended for a job well done. You officers did good work today by taking out an armed and active threat. Though policy mandates a temporary suspension for the neutralizing officer, the appropriate medals will be awarded for your bravery in the battlefield. You guys literally jumped the gun by killing a suspect who did not pose an active threat. The department will no doubt take some media heat and political criticism for this one. Put your chops on the table, people, because they're about to be busted. Apparently, your training went out the window when reality came in the door. While not a total disaster, the operation certainly suffered the consequences of your actions. It's going to cost this department big time to get us back on track.
It's really not my fault. He got in the way of the bullets. So, I'm not redoing that. I'll redo if we miss some evidence. Especially if it becomes impossible to get the evidence. But if it's just silliness like that, no. Alright, so for this one, we are going to need 2 elements. That is the usual way I like to do it, just because of the sheer number of antagonists on here. So we are going to grab an element leader for this second element. We can use Sonny Bonds. He is pretty good. And everybody else just with high MP5 skill. Actually, instead of Sonny Bonds, I'd like to use her, who I trained as Kim, who I trained as an element leader. Because Kim is much better than Sonny Bonds. I mean, come on. Okay, and for the element leader, we'll get MP5, just in case, battering ram, and 2 flashbangs. For everybody else, MP5 and 2 flashbangs. It's way faster to just butcher your way through the campaign. I mean, all this stuff about SWAT trying to save lives and using less lethal tactics, come on. We don't need to do that. Right, battery ram. Flashbangs. We don't need the gas masks anymore. Okay. So, this is the bank robbery, if I did not say so. We are just going to take 2 assault elements.
Step lively, guys.
Alright. We're just gonna bust straight in. You can use the throw phone, but it's kind of a waste of time. Doesn't really get you anywhere.
No throw phone, you got it. I don't know if you've been in this bank before, but the layout is pretty much as expected. There's an open customer area with some desks.
Pretty much no problem just busting in through the front door, and the other element is mostly just for backup.
That's about all we know.
In case we start making arrests and sort of run out of people. So we'll have Kim run forward with the battering ram, and see what we got. And just shoot anybody who's got a gun, really.
Oh my God!
You better come with me.
Oh my God! LAPD, put down the gun!
Okay, she's running out there, so we'll have somebody intercept her, I guess. Just take this nice and slow. Sometimes somebody will want to like bust in through the door.
Suspect under arrest.
And we want to make sure to grab the money and the pamphlet here. These are important pieces of evidence. Go arrest this guy.
Suspect under arrest.
And we will arrest this guy too. Just take things nice and careful here. There's probably a few people hiding out in the vault.
Suspect under arrest.
So we will have Kim battering ram the door.
Suspect spotted. Does not appear to be an active threat.
LAPD, put down the gun.
Weapon is high.
I was not putting down the gun, dude. I saw a booby trap, so we gotta be a little careful of that.
Suspect under arrest.
Suspect spotted. Does not appear to be in active.
LAPD, put down the gun.
Suspect neutralized.
You know, it's funny how you tell them to put down the gun and they raise a gun instead. When they didn't, they weren't actually holding a gun before, but by telling them to put down the gun, suddenly a gun appears in their hand, giving you the right to shoot them, of course. That's really what that command is for. It's commanding them to give you the right to shoot them. So, see, this game is like so much easier when you just use lethal force and don't mess around with gas grenades and throwing flashbangs at people. It's all...
Sergeant Griff Marcosian reporting, Chief. To summarize the operation, as you're all aware, we were severely outgunned today. The suspects were armed with automatic weapons. They wore body armor and were skilled at deploying booby traps. One even carried a hand grenade, for Christ's sake. We don't know who these people are, but they're organized, well-equipped, and very, very dangerous. Rest assured, the FBI and LAPD criminal investigators will scrutinize every scrap of evidence and follow every lead until we run these bastards to ground. Your thorough search and recovery procedures provided us with some valuable evidence. Money recovered at the scene will help the bank identify stolen serial number sequences. One of the suspects was carrying some rather interesting reading material. It looks like standard terrorist dogma, how to overthrow the government and create chaos in our time. Typical anarchy crap, printed by an organization called the Five Eyes. We don't have a file on this group, but we've contacted the FBI for information. Multiple hostages rescued. That's doing things the way they should be done. It was rough out there today, but you officers performed with great skill and courage, neutralizing several dangerous suspects. There will be an investigation, but I'm confident that the actions taken will be ruled in-policy shootings. Who knows? There may even be a couple of medals coming down for this one. A good day all in all, people. You performed quite well out there, doing what had to be done to neutralize the situation. You acted professionally, resorting to weapon use only when absolutely necessary. Chief, you should be quite pleased with your officers today.
Alright. So, the next mission is the Runway Shooter, which is another very, very easy mission. So, I actually want to make sure we get an element leader, as many element leaders as possible, with explosives training, if possible. Okay, they need a dynamic entry of 91, alright. Because just in case we're going to need explosives disarming, it does come in handy from time to time. Okay, that's fine. Alright, and then this is a pretty easy one, so we can just have like Sunny Bonds, that's fine. This is pretty much just another, this is another one with one suspect, one hostage, so another very, very easy mission. That is pretty much zero effort. A lot of guides recommend that you rappel using the helicopter. I don't really understand, because you can just walk in right through the front door. Like, what's the big deal? You do get a small bonus for using snipers as well. Sometimes they can see exactly where the sniper is. But otherwise, this is completed very quickly and very easily. Probably just gonna kill the sniper. It's also a very easy mission to get the top rating on if you just use a gas grenade. But I'm just gonna shoot him unless he surrenders. Really doesn't. Usually nobody surrenders.
Sniper team in position.
Also, if you're paying attention, since he is a runway sniper, he is always in one of the rooms pointing out towards the runway, so that it means you don't need to do a room-by-room search as such. I didn't take a battery ram.
denied.
Oops.
Entry denied.
That's gonna be a problem. Let's just restart. Duh. No. Okay, let's try this again. Redo.
Shake it up.
So ideally you want your snipers to report which room they see the suspect in. Even if they don't, or even if you don't take along snipers, you only have about 5 rooms to search, because you don't need to search the ones that are pointing out this way, towards the south side. Logically, he's aiming at the runway, which is up here. You see, just entering in through the front door brings you right over here. There's no need to call in the helicopter. See right here, we already spotted him. Easy. So we're just gonna run over, kill him, arrest the hostage. Well, we'll tell him to put his gun up first to make it look like, you know, we had no choice.
What took you so long to get back to me, Chief?
What
You missed
part of
some things, but I don't have
LAPD
time to
don't
fill
you
in.
understand,
What's the
punk?
situation? Guess it's up to the assault team now. CNT out.
What part of LAPD don't you understand, punk?
Don't you understand? I had to keep them from
Police,
flying away.
stay out of the line of fire.
Suspect under arrest.
He did surrender. That's new.
Suspect under arrest.
Okay, all we had to do was run up and yell at him a couple of times. They actually very rarely surrender in this game, just in general.
Sergeant Griff Markosian reporting, Chief. To summarize the operation, things get complicated when you've got a delusional gunman and a hostage who's possibly even more disturbed than the suspect. But being a SWAT officer in LA means taking them as they come. We got a hostage back, and quite possibly saved a life. You are to be commended for a job well done. The good news is that we've got a suspect in custody. The arresting officer will receive the appropriate commendation. In summary, this operation could not have gone better. You all conducted yourselves with great courage, resourcefulness, and skill. You fought as you trained, neutralizing the situation without serious injury to hostage, officer, or suspect. Ladies and gentlemen, you've done yourselves and the department proud.
Okay, so this next one is high risk warrant. Pretty straightforward. I think it's a good idea to take 2 assault elements with plenty of guns. Make sure everybody is well equipped. Alright, and we will go ahead and take the snipers as well.
Shake it up.
Alvarez here. Be advised that we're not sure.
Negative on the throw phone, Alvarez.
Don't think we want any negotiations.
Roger. No throw phone. You want to use a bullhorn to call them out.
We'll use the bullhorn.
Try to talk them out.
Might get at least somebody to come out.
Okay, Chief. I'll call them out.
Sniper team in position.
The snipers are more useful just for observing. They can cast a little bit of line of sight, have a little bit more situational awareness.
At all times.
See, the bullhorn can get at least some civilians to come out, so we can arrest this small child if he will stand still.
Civilian located.
Oh, he went straight to the,
Suspect spotted.
Are we gonna have somebody go down? Because the
Guess it's up to the assault teams now.
suspect comes right out and shoots at us. Okay, we gotta hurry now, because, we don't want him to die.
Suspect spotted. Weapon in high ready. We have a visible threat. Suspect neutralized.
These guys are crazy. The bullhorn just makes everybody hyper-aggressive.
Suspect under arrest.
We're under arrest, small child.
Start the party. First is here.
Now, the tank is kind of useful, because sometimes there's explosives.
First is in position. Give us a good word, Chief.
In front of some doors, like right there. So in case I don't have
Taking it
anybody
down, Chief.
with
Watch
explosives
Bertha make a nice big hole for the entry team.
certification handy, we can go in through a hole in the side.
Civilian located.
Are you a civilian? It's hard to tell sometimes.
Please, show me your hands.
Now he's a suspect. Now he's a dead suspect. Now I was supposed to get a gun from this, but I ended up killing everybody. Might have to redo this. We didn't actually recover the gun.
Civilian located. Shake it up.
What helps a little bit to help keep people alive, the suspects anyway, is to not actually use everybody, but just use one officer at a time, so you aren't sending too many bullets.
Stick close now. Don't be scared.
Put it down easy, and no one gets hurt.
Suspect spotted. Weapon in high ready. Cab. Suspect neutralized.
What
Wait,
took you so
so
long to get back to me?
he only went
You
down.
missed some things, but I
He
don't
got
have time to
incapacitated,
fill you in.
which means I got his
Current
guns.
situation. Sounds like you've got a gun battle on your hands. Good luck. CNT over and out.
Suspect under arrest. Bertha is en route to the crisis operation.
Just want to be a little bit careful of booby traps. Sometimes they are right in front of doors. Just gotta be a little careful where you step. There's the drugs that I need to collect. We did get some guns, so hopefully that counts as evidence.
Start the party. Bertha is here. Taking it down, Chief. Watch Bertha make a nice big hole for the entry team. Garcia reporting. Suspect located in proximity to armored car.
Ha ha ha. He'll be okay. There's a suspect who's gonna kill him.
Suspect neutralized.
Okay. He's dead. Alright, see, that's another booby trap in there. That one you have to be really careful of. Do we have a certified explosives expert here? Alright, I've actually run into this before, where you can go grab the gun that's over here, but if you try to walk back, then the officer will walk over the booby trap.
My daddy always said to walk softly and carry a big gun.
So if we just have him... Please don't step on that. Okay, now you stay there. Don't move. Because if you move, you're probably going to step on that.
Twinkle toes.
Oh, you've got a gun. That means I shoot you. Okay, where's the last suspect hiding out? That is the big question.
Chopper 1 on its way.
I gotta get this sorted out before this guy dies. He's got quite some time, but... Where could the last one be hiding? So let's take a look around. Ah, saw something. There's somebody down here. I see the dot. They're like hiding behind the wall. Okay. Alright, that went well enough. No actual deaths, and we got all the evidence that time.
Sergeant Griff Marcosian reporting, Chief. To summarize the operation, when children are caught within the crisis perimeter, it is SWAT's first priority to get them out safely. We consider the children of suspects to be hostages, albeit hostages presumed sympathetic to their parents' plight. Your thorough search and recovery procedures provided us with some valuable evidence. We found some pretty sophisticated weapons in and around the compound. If this is an organization, they might be building up quite an arsenal. You got in fast enough to prevent the suspects from destroying their drug cache. We're sending it over to the lab for analysis. Looks like PCP or a close cousin. Multiple hostages rescued. That's doing things the way they should be done. The good news is that we've got a suspect in custody. The arresting officer will receive the appropriate commendation. Neutralizing a threatening suspect without resorting to lethal force is well within the confines of acceptable SWAT tactics. The responsible officer will receive official recognition for a job well done. It was rough out there today, but you officers performed with great skill and courage, neutralizing several dangerous suspects. You guys slipped up, and an officer got hurt. Don't let it happen again. A good day all in all, people. You performed quite well out there, doing what had to be done to neutralize the situation.
Alright, pretty good. So, the next mission is Explosive Situation, which I find to be really annoying. The terrain is annoying, and you need to get the explosives and the detonator from the body of a suspect so you can't kill them. And also, pretty much everybody is resistant to gas grenades, so you either need to just wound them or use flashbangs. It's altogether super annoying, but we are gonna try our best here to get some suspensions. See, at first it's kind of annoying. It's like, oh, you get suspended for killing a suspect even with their gun up. Yes, but if you just have some backups, then it's not really a big deal. Just plan for it. Expect that you'll receive the occasional suspension or injury, and just take somebody else. It's really quite okay. Alright. You don't want to actually, as tempting as it is, you don't want to fire your gun with the snipers because a sniper rifle is pretty much always a kill. Which is not what you want to see here. So we'll take the snipers in order to have their observation. But I don't want them to fire their guns. So actually this mine shaft right here does open up into the mine shaft down here. It's like a little teleport. Since I am using 2 assault elements, there is perhaps a little benefit to approaching from both sides. You kind of want to take this real slow because all these guys start out non-hostile and they just have a tendency to charge you. So you just want to take them one guy at a time.
LAPD, put down the gun.
Okay. I don't
What
think
took
he's
you so long to
carrying
get back to
explosives.
me, Chief? You missed some things, but I don't have time to fill you in. Here's the current situation. Sounds like the fat's in the fire, Chief. Watch yourself.
Keep calm and you won't get
Over
hurt.
and out.
We can ignore them for the moment.
LAPD, put down the gun.
Suspect spotted. Weapon is high ready. We have a visible threat. Suspect under arrest.
Okay, that's the explosives. So, we don't want her to get killed. Don't get killed. Oh, actually, now we can relight the snipers. Because we got the explosives.
How come you guys are never around when you're needed?
Okay, somebody come and help her out, please. So there's somebody over here. Alright, I see the guy's hair. He's hiding behind that thing. Alright. I don't want to risk her. I'm not terribly torn up if a officer dies, even though it ruins your rating. But I don't want somebody holding evidence to die, because then that loses the evidence. There's a guy right here. I think he was holding a gun. It's a little hard to tell.
Suspect under arrest.
Need to get over to this person somehow.
This is the police. Try to stay calm.
Glad to see you. Suspect under arrest.
Hey, you know what? That went about as well as I've ever seen that go. Could not possibly ask for better. As long as that last guy actually had his gun up. Because if he didn't, then that ruins your rating.
Sergeant
Peter.
Griff Markosian reporting, Chief. To summarize the operation, your thorough search and recovery procedures provided us with some valuable evidence. Surprisingly, the confiscated dynamite does not match the quarry's supply. We're checking with the manufacturer to try to run down the buyer. Multiple hostages rescued. That's doing things the way they should be done. Multiple suspects were arrested in this operation. We're holding them for questioning. The wounded suspects are expected to live to do their time in jail. The department commends the responsible officers for coming down hard on a dangerous situation. It was rough out there today, but you officers performed with great skill and courage, neutralizing several dangerous suspects. A good day all in all, people. You performed quite well out there.
Alright, the next mission is Trailer Park. This is a pretty tough one because you get suddenly ambushed midway through, and if your guys are in the wrong spot, then they can get sniped and instantly killed. So we are going to try to avoid that. I think Sonny Bonds got suspended for killing that one guy, so everybody else is still good over here. Oh, Sniper got suspended too. Alright. would be... It's not too hard as long as you play it right.
And a jog, men.
Chopper 1 on its way.
Sniper team in position.
Alvarez here, Chief.
Okay, Alvarez, try to talk them out.
The bullhorn does help because it does actually make people come out, so you can
This
get
is the
them
Los
very easily.
Angeles Police Department. Come outside. Move slowly and keep your hands where we can see them.
There's also no evidence required in this, so it's just a matter of killing all the suspects and not getting any of your own officers killed. That's really your main risk here. Especially if you have them standing down here, they will all die immediately from sniper fire.
This is the Los Angeles Police Department. Come outside. Move
Civilian
slowly
located.
and
Also want a
keep your
green
hands
light
where
with
we
your
can see them.
own snipers, so that if they have any chance of killing the enemy snipers, they'll take it. See, the bullhorn makes these people come out.
Suspect under arrest.
But there's a like drug addict,
This is the Los
and
Angeles
the
Police
ambush
Department.
only happens once you
Come
arrest the drug
outside.
addict.
Move slowly and keep your hands where we can see them.
Suspect under arrest.
Chopper 1 going into orbit. Over. We have a civilian out on open ground. No suspect visible at this time.
This is the Los Angeles Police Department. Come outside. Move slowly and keep your hands where we can see them.
Let's see some ID.
Suspect under arrest.
This is the Los
She had a
Angeles
gun,
Police
but-
Department. Come outside. Move slowly and keep
Wasn't
your
actually
hands
moving
where
to
we
use
can
it.
see them.
You may want to keep the officers indoors after a certain point rather than returning them to the headquarters. Okay, here's a...
Civilian located.
Keep calm and you won't get hurt.
Suspect under arrest.
This is the Los Angeles Police Department.
So that's the
Come outside.
junkie,
Move slowly and keep your hands where we can see them.
and we also need to... Let's go ahead and grab this. Oh, this is the evidence. Well, it's easy evidence to get is what I meant. It's not like it's all on a suspect. I think you need to arrest everybody, is sort of what the deal is there. And then the
This
ambush
is the Los
happens.
Angeles Police Department. Come outside.
Entry denied.
Move slowly and keep your hands where we can see them.
Chopper 1
Civilian
reporting
located.
suspect located. Repeat. Suspect spotted in
Okay,
the open.
here's the ambush.
Civilian
Please,
located. Suspect.
show me your hands.
Suspect spotted. Does not appear to be an active threat at this time.
Please, show me your hands.
I saw
Suspect spotted in the open.
that first guy immediately got sniped. This guy's holding a gun.
Keep calm and you won't get hurt.
Suspect under
Okay, that
arrest.
went pretty smoothly, actually. I don't think anybody died. At least nobody that I care about. Especially this suspect over here with the sniper rifle, he will shoot anybody over here. Any officers, anyway. So you want to get your other team up here so that they can make a sweep around to the top and upper left. Unacceptable. Now we killed one with a gun
Sergeant Griff
down.
Markosian reporting, Chief.
I thought his gun
To
was up.
summarize the operation, this mission made it clear why we never assume anything. What appeared to be a single injured suspect turned into a major firefight. The innocent bystanders were not so innocent after all, and the geographic proximity to our previous call-up in the quarry suggests a possible link between the perps. We're working to connect the dots, but even without hard evidence, it looks like someone's gearing up for trouble. Your thorough search and recovery procedures provided us with some valuable evidence. Following standard procedures, you searched the innocent bystanders. Good thing, too, because one of the IBs carried a concealed weapon. After it's been tested for prints, it'll go to ballistics. They'll cross-check the barrel pattern with the bullet pulled out of the paramedic. Forensics will examine the OD's hand for powder grains to see if he could have pulled the trigger. My gut tells me he didn't. Breaking their record for speed, the drug lab analyzed the white powder found in the victim's mobile home. They tell me it's an analog of PCP. This stuff has a scientific name as long as my leg, but it's commonly called PCE. Funny thing is, it's identical to the contraband we found in Topanga Canyon. Maybe someone's setting himself up as the hot new supplier in town. Multiple hostages rescued. That's doing things the way they should be done. It was rough out there today, but you officers performed with great skill and courage, neutralizing several dangerous suspects. You guys literally jumped the gun by killing a suspect who did not pose an active threat. Put your chops on the table, people, because they're about to be busted.
Not too bad. That was a mistake at the end, I guess. But, you know, I think it's too harsh putting you to the second worst rating just for killing a suspect with their gun down. Like, come on. They had a gun. They were going to use it. Right? Okay, this next mission is Riot in the Valley, which is pretty straightforward. There is evidence that needs to be collected, so we have to be a little bit careful. Actually, in this one, you don't need to arrest the hostages. You only need to take out the suspects. So you don't really need a whole lot here. Just one assault element ought to do the trick. So we'll just take Valor 5.
Civilian located. Move it.
Even just using one guy.
Put it down easy, and no one gets hurt.
So that you're trying not to kill too many of them.
Hostage does not appear to be in
Suspect under
immediate
arrest.
We are trying to find explosives.
I need a hostage. You.
He just died. Let's go ahead and take, we'll just take Valor 5.
Civilian
That was
located.
somewhat unexpected, I must admit.
We have a visible threat. Move it.
LA Police Department, stay cool. Police, give it up, scumbag.
Suspect neutralized.
What? No way! What? No way!
LA Police Department, stay cool.
I don't want to hurt you, but I will. What? No way!
Suspect holding the hostage. We have a life-threatening situation.
Is something going on here?
Police, give it up, scumbag.
Suspect neutralized.
Hopefully I don't kill the guy with the explosives.
Suspect neutralized. Suspect under arrest.
Okay, he had explosives.
Civilian located.
LA Police Department, stay cool. LA Police Department, stay cool.
I think this guy's a suspect.
Police, give it up, scumbag.
Suspect neutralized.
LA Police Department, stay cool. Police, give it up, scumbag.
Mind if I watch?
Police, give it up, scumbag.
It's calling her a scumbag, which says that she's a suspect, even if she doesn't have a gun.
Damn, cool.
There. Okay.
Suspect under arrest.
That went slightly better. We got the explosives.
Suspect neutralized.
We killed everybody. That one guy was alive. He just died. That first time, my guy just like got suddenly insta-killed.
Sergeant Griff Markosian reporting, Chief. To summarize the operation, riot control is one of SWAT's duties. A riot situation calls for special tactics geared to minimizing civilian casualties and property damage, while neutralizing the situation as quickly as possible. Your thorough search and recovery procedures provided us with some valuable evidence. The explosives match those recovered at the quarry. This evidence leads me to believe that this riot was not spontaneous, but rather intentionally begun by persons intending to incite mayhem and destruction. The good news is that we've got a suspect in custody. It was rough out there today, but you officers performed with great skill and courage, neutralizing several dangerous suspects. A good day all in all, people. You performed quite well out there, doing what had to be done to neutralize the situation.
All right. This next mission is Suburbia. There is no evidence to collect, so should be pretty straightforward. Let's just get... We'll take both elements, just in case. I don't strictly remember a lot about this one. We'll take the snipers too, just to have an overwatch. Actually, since there's no evidence, we can even green light them. It's alright. And I think this one's not too hard. Not sure.
Sniper team in position. Sniper reporting. I have a green for go.
Chopper 1 on its way.
So there's just a couple of houses to bust into. Not that one.
Civilian located.
What took you so long to get back to me, Chief? You missed some things, but I don't have time to fill you in. Here's the current situation. Guess it's up to the assault teams now. CNT out.
I think this might be a good time for the
First
tank
en
as
route
well.
to the crisis operation.
So, I remember this bathroom right here can sometimes have people inside, and it's not what you think. They are barricaded and dangerous. And apparently somebody's shooting at me.
Weapon in high ready. We have a visible threat.
I spotted them first, lurking in the bushes.
What is going on?
Sergeant located. First in here.
I have no idea what's going on, but people are getting shot.
First is in position. Give us a good word, Chief.
LAPD, put down the gun.
Chopper 1 reporting suspect. Chopper 1 in position. I'll keep you notified. Or over.
Keep calm and you won't get hurt.
Around my house. Suspect under arrest. Suspect under arrest.
I don't really know what's going on, but hopefully not too many SWAT officers are dying.
I'm hit.
Ooh.
I'm throwing fire from an unknown location. I'm hit.
This guy's alive and shooting at us.
Neutralized.
Okay. I went over to arrest him, and he was actually kneeling down with like a gun out, so it usually doesn't work when you try that. Alright, no SWAT officers died, and I don't think anybody died who didn't deserve it, so...
Sergeant Griff Markosian reporting, Chief. To summarize the operation, because the two suspects were in close proximity to the riot, they were most likely instrumental in its onset. They were much too heavily armed and protected to be common looters. Multiple hostages rescued. That's doing things the way they should be done. It was rough out there today, but you officers performed with great skill and courage. Officers went down today because you got careless and screwed up. We'll be training harder and smarter from now on to avoid situations like this in the future. A good day all in all, people.
Well, I'll take it. Alright, this is Mission 12, Domestic Situation. We need to get some money. So, I think this one is like the shack out in the middle of nowhere. Ah, that's what I think it is. So snipers, and probably we'll take both assault teams. I think that's a good idea. See, as I said before, you tend to experience a little bit of attrition just as a matter of course. So people get suspended, people get injured. So just have backups. It's not really something to obsess over. There's a lot of complaints. I made complaints. I thought it was silly. It's like, oh, an officer gets suspended for doing the right thing, for taking out a threatening suspect. And it's just not a big deal. We got plenty of people serving as backups. Okay.
Shake it up.
Yeah, so all the action happens around this
Located.
shack over here. Actually, I believe I've had officers get shot, like, over here, which is pretty irritating, so...
CNT reporting. Things look pretty quiet.
Negative. Let's keep it quiet for now.
Okay, Chief. No bullhorn. We've got a phone number for the...
No, don't call yet.
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Roger. I'll leave it up to you then. Alvarez, over and out.
Sniper reporting. I have a green for go. Move now.
I think just since you have so many people crammed into this tiny house, there's a tendency for them to all run out when things start going crazy. Let's not get exploded by this gas cannon.
Chopper 1 on its way.
Bertha is en route to the crisis operation.
Just in case anything's in the shack. Oh, there's money out here. Good, let's grab that. I don't know why anyone would put money in a place like that on the floor, but okay. That's fine.
LA police, dirtbag, freeze!
Did she ever gun up? It's hard to tell
Start the
sometimes.
party. Bertha's here. Suspect spotted. Weapon and eye ready. We have a visible...
Somebody does. Alright, now it's time for a flashbang. That's what I'm holding these for.
Bertha's in position. Give us a good word, Chief. Suspect under arrest. Suspect under arrest.
We have a civilian out. Chopper 1 in position. I'll keep you notified. Or over.
Suspect under arrest.
Well, when three people all want to stand right on top of each other, sometimes that doesn't give you quite a very good shot.
Chopper 1 reporting. Chopper 1 here. Chopper 1 going into orbit.
Hello.
Over.
Put it down easy, and no one gets hurt.
We have a missile threat. I'm hit. Ah! Suspect neutralized.
We have a civilian out on open ground. No suspect visible at this time.
Suspect under arrest.
Okay, he's fine. There's a
Suspect
child
in
over
hostage
here.
spotted. Hostage does not appear to be in immediate danger.
Hostage.
What part of
Suspect spotted.
LAPD
Weapon
don't
and
you
eye ready. We have
understand,
a
Tom?
visible threat. Suspect neutralized.
It's really weird how you yell at them and they pull out their gun.
Suspect under arrest.
You're not allowed to shoot them until they actually do that. And then they do that.
LAPD, put down the gun.
Suspect neutralized.
Okay, I think that's not too bad. We only killed people with their gun up. We did have a SWAT officer go down. Or two. Yeah, one officer went down, but no big deal.
Sergeant Griff Markosian reporting, Chief. To summarize the operation, sometimes a mission isn't at all what we expect it to be. In this case, the domestic dispute call was a fake called in from a payphone, merely a ploy to get us involved in a small war. Your thorough search and recovery procedures provided us with some valuable evidence. The money was recovered before the suspects could either hide it or escape with it. We checked the serial numbers, and they fit right into the series stolen from the bank. Looks like we're gathering evidence on some rather ambitious criminals. Multiple hostages rescued. That's doing things the way they should be done. Multiple suspects were arrested in this operation. Neutralizing a threatening suspect without resorting to lethal force. It was rough out there today, but you officers performed with great skill and courage. You guys slipped up, and an officer got hurt. A good day all in all, people.
Okay, the next mission is Law Firm. Another pretty straightforward one. There are a number of NPCs running around, however, they are there's only 2 of them that actually have guns, and there is the possibility of booby traps, so we want to make sure we have this guy who is skilled with explosives. This is the third to last mission, so I also want to make sure that we have sufficient MP5 skilled people. And we're going to give him also just hooligan tool and mirror to make sure that he can stay safe. Refill his flashbang. Anybody who threw a flashbang gets another. Alright, and let's just go through quickly anybody who is kind of lacking in MP5 skill can get a little bit more. I don't know how many we really need. That's enough. Alright. Just need 2 assault elements here, I think. Just in case there's a lot of hostages to rescue.
Make like the Rockettes, Twinkle Toes.
Osbot is reporting.
Check. Let's see if anyone's home.
Roger, I'll keep you posted. Osbot is over.
Just want to be a little bit careful here. There's multiple offices, only 2 of them are going to be occupied. One of them just by hostages.
Take a little walk with me.
One by the suspects.
Don't hurt me. I'm going to have a baby.
Just want to have this guy look before he leaps, use the hooligan tool and the mirror.
We have access. The area appears clear. We have access. Prepare. The area appears clear. We have access. The area appears clear. We have access. Suspect spotted. Weapon in
See, here we have a suspect.
I don't want to shoot you, but I will.
I don't want to risk him because he's the explosives expert. If he goes down, then that could be trouble. So we'll just have somebody relatively unimportant bust in
Take
there.
a little walk with me.
I'm only a temp.
Stop shooting me.
Get stuff to the assault.
Neutralized.
That would be some explosives. And a booby trap.
Suspect spotted. Does not appear to be an active threat at this time.
If I could aim with the flashbang, that would be nice. If you would stop running, that would be nice. Alright, old-fashioned way. Oh, come on. Stop running! What is your deal?
Please, show me your hands. Now!
He got away. I've not actually had this happen before. Hopefully we can catch him. Might have to shoot him in the leg or something. Very awkward elevator ride, by the way. Alright, come on.
Oh! Suspect neutralized.
I'm sure that's an in-policy shooting.
Suspect under arrest.
Right?
Suspect under arrest.
Right, for some reason, even though we did manage to get both actual suspects, we do have to go break into this office of innocent
Area
people
appears clear.
and arrest them as well for no particular reason, even though they have no idea what's going on. They're probably in this office then.
We have access. The area appears clear.
They could be in this other room.
Civilian
There.
located.
Alright, you guys come over here.
Civilian located. Oh!
Just-
Suspect under arrest.
Ooh, the suspect just died. We're gonna get the second worst rating.
Suspect under arrest.
It's a little unfortunate.
Sergeant Griff Markosian reporting, Chief. To summarize the operation, we've managed to piece together the following information. The suspect, Philip Reston, entered the law firm of Burnside, Finch, and Montgomery. He took the receptionist hostage and forced his way into Finch's office. Apparently they knew each other. Possibly this was a business relationship gone sour. Your thorough search and recovery procedures provided us with some valuable evidence. Reston was carrying a cell phone. I tried the instant redial and got the answering machine at an auto body repair shop. What's interesting is that the shop's located on Old Chatsworth Road, 2 blocks from the phony domestic dispute call-up. A patrol unit's en route to check it out. Although we didn't have an official warrant, an officer accidentally picked up a brochure for a proposed housing development. We don't know if the proposal belonged to Mr. Finch or Mr. Reston, or whether the janitor dropped it. However, based on a map in the brochure, we do know this housing development is supposed to be built right on top of the Mojave gravel quarry. Why anyone would want to put up tract homes within a shout of the San Andreas Fault is beyond me, but you know these businessmen with deep pockets and no common sense. But I digress. In any case, we'll be checking out the possible connection. Multiple hostages rescued. Angelica Blanchardi, the receptionist, was still a bit shocky from the ordeal, but we were able to ask a few questions before the doctor stepped in. Ms. Blanchardi wouldn't tell us anything about the law firm's confidential matters, but she did say that Reston used his cell phone to make one call. She couldn't hear much of the conversation, but Mayor Prescott's name came up. You officers did good work today by taking out an armed and active threat. You guys literally jumped the gun by killing a suspect who did not pose an active threat.
In my defense, he was trying to get away.
Put your chops on the table, people, because they're about to be busted.
Okay, so this is the second to last mission, and what we need to do here is make 4 assault elements. For one thing, there's a lot of hostages and suspects in this mission, and then they're all carried over to the final mission where the SWAT station is under attack. So we're going to get rid of rid of the snipers and create 2 more assault elements. And fill them out with element leaders. They all have element leaders, and then just whoever's best at MP5 from that point. Okay, so that is all 4. Nope. Scratch that. That's why we make sure. Okay, so all of these people are pretty good with the MP5. We don't need any more battering ram, I don't think. So it's just everybody gets an MP5 and 2 flashbangs. Not that I'll be using the flashbangs, really. And get rid of anything else. Okay. Let's get the flashbangs in the correct spot. Okay. What's he holding? What is he holding these detonators? Okay, so that is good. Now, there's a little trick. This mission is like nearly impossible unless you use a little trick of going around arresting everybody. Just completely clear the place out. They say in the briefing, like, avoid false arrests. Yeah, nobody cares. The game isn't programmed for that. Some of these people are actually suspects and assassins.
Civilian located.
So, like, if you're crouching behind a tree, you are suspicious. Come on. You're up to no good. Just in case you get any funny ideas.
So much for my life of crime.
Suspect under arrest.
And pretty much everybody surrenders right away. It's just a matter of rounding everybody up. You got 5 minutes before the other assassins pop out.
Civilian located.
Alvarez here, Chief. The mayor is on site. He's preparing to make a speech at 1400 hours. Our people are ready and waiting for their assignment. Alvarez over.
Suspect under arrest.
And the mayor is over here about to give a speech. You can just arrest him too. Like, you know, this is normal.
Suspect under arrest.
Suspect under arrest.
Yeah, you know, he's 4 minutes away from giving a major speech, but no, we're just gonna arrest him and cart him off. For his own safety. All these people crouching behind trees are all assassins.
Suspect under arrest.
Could you be any more suspicious? Even if you were playing this legitimately.
Keep away from me! Keep away from me! Keep away from me!
Suspect under arrest.
Yeah, if they ever engage in hand-to-hand combat, just try to arrest them again.
Suspect under arrest.
That means one of the benefits of K9s, which is to give you 150% hand-to-hand skill, is not really all that useful. Because even if somebody engages in hand-to-hand, you can just arrest them again and cancel that.
Under arrest. Suspect
Okay, now that we have cleared the place out and we are 2.5 minutes out from the speech and when the assassins pop out, we want to kind of spread our guys throughout the map. Kind of along the top and right is where you want everybody to be. Just being generally available to shoot or arrest any assassins that pop out. And keeping an eye on things.
Chopper
Speaking of
one
which,
on its way.
Chopper's pretty useful here. It is a pretty large map. And the assassins are spread throughout. I don't even know what you're supposed to do if you don't kind of play it this way. Especially if you leave the mayor where he is in the center of the map, where all the assassins will have a bead on him, and pretty much just kill him instantly. Now, I haven't scoped this out as far as where the absolute best places are to put your officers. It's possible somebody could get killed or something. Even if I take a death or two here, like, so be it.
Chopper 1 here. Chopper 1 going into orbit. Over.
Just gotta wait till this hits 14 o'clock. And then the assassins will suddenly appear throughout the map. We just want to be ready to shoot or arrest them or what have you. Your people will even fire in self-defense.
Chopper 1 reporting suspect located. Repeat, suspect spotted in the open.
Suspect neutralized. Suspect under arrest.
Chopper 1 reporting suspect located. Repeat, suspect spotted in the open.
Suspect spotted. Suspect noted. Suspect spotted. Weapon is high ready. We have a suspect is under arrest. Suspect neutralized.
There. Not such a big deal. I think somebody got shot. Somebody said I'm hit. But I don't see where anyone... Ah, this guy. Ooh, he nearly died. He's down to 3. Stay alive, dude.
Sergeant Griff Marcosian reporting, Chief. To summarize the operation, this was obviously the work of a well-organized, well-equipped terrorist group. Your thorough search and recovery procedures provided us with some valuable evidence. At least one sniper rifle was recovered at the scene. They were using a pricey model, the M40A1 to be exact. The Marine Corps uses those babies. We'll contact the USMC to see if they've had any armory break-ins lately. If memory serves, we recovered an M40A1 at the Topanga Canyon high-risk warrant, didn't we? Check the serial numbers to see if they're consecutive. This thing just keeps getting more convoluted all the time. We've got to shut these bastards down. Fast! Multiple hostages rescued. That's doing things the way they should be done. Multiple suspects were arrested in this operation. We're holding them for questioning. We're questioning the terrorists separately, trying to play them against each other, but so far they're refusing to eat or drink, much less say anything. The wounded suspects are expected to live, to do their time in jail. You guys slipped up, and an officer got hurt. A good day all in all, people.
Okay, so this goes straight into the next mission. Normally there's a movie where terrorists attack the police station, but it's going to jump straight into the next mission using the elements that I had before, minus the guy who got injured, of course. Howard Ash is recovering, but otherwise I have all of my other officers who are equipped with MP5s, as well as the police chief. So
Mind if I
the
watch?
objective here is to just, for one thing, protect the chief.
Lively, guys.
And for another, just make sure you shoot any terrorist who has their gun out. Come on. Die, please.
I'm hit. Suspect neutralized.
Just go to town on any terrorist who has their gun up, really. And there's so many running around the halls, you want to take it a little bit careful.
Suspect spotted. Suspect neutralized.
Let me get my video camera.
Suspect spotted. Weapon in high range. We have a missile. Suspect neutralized. Suspect neutralized.
If you just wait, a lot of them will come into the hall, because a lot of them want to go after the chief.
I'm
Oh,
hit.
somebody went down. I didn't see where that came from.
Suspect neutralized. Suspect neutralized.
Scoop!
A lot of them have their... Oh, that's a booby trap. This guy, however, is explosive certified. And these guys have guns.
Suspect neutralized.
That guy is not holding a gun.
Police, show
There
me
he
your
is.
hands.
Suspect spotted. Weapon in high ready. We have a visible threat. Suspect neutralized.
Police, show me your hands. Now.
Suspect neutralized. Suspect spotted. Weapon in high ready. We have a visible threat. Suspect neutralized. Suspect spotted. Does not appear to be an active threat at this time.
Police, show me your hands. Now. Police, show me your hands. Now. Police, show me your hands. Now.
Suspect spotted. Weapon in high ready. Suspect neutralized.
Police, show me your hands. Now. Police, show me your hands. Now.
If they're being uncooperative, you can toss a flashbang at them. Well, as long as they don't start walking towards you.
Police, show me your hands. Now.
Where'd he go? What? Oh, he's just crouching down. I think.
Police, show me your hands. Now.
Do something. Oh, that was bizarre. Okay, and then once you've taken out all the terrorists, the mayor is hiding out somewhere, and he's got a gun, but you don't want to kill him. Ideally, you want to throw a flashbang at him. He is, for some reason, immune to tear gas. Here's the mayor. So you want to flashbang him and then capture him. Okay.
Suspect under arrest.
Alright, good deal. So an officer went down, but nobody died. And I believe I killed all the terrorists with their guns up. So that should be the second best rating.
Suspect under arrest.
This can be a very, very hard mission to get a good rating on. It's entirely likely that you'll take an officer casualty.
Suspect under arrest.
Today is a tragic day for SWAT. Among the fallen, we must include Sergeant Griffin Marcosi, a 27-year veteran of the force and one of the finest police officers I have ever known. Griff is survived by his wife Peggy and their 4 daughters. I know I speak for all of us when I say he'll be sorely missed. I'll attempt to carry out the debriefing in his place, if such a thing is possible. As many of you are aware, Mayor Prescott graced us with a visit just before the terrorist attack. Maybe he felt compelled to thank us in person for saving his ass. for preventing his assassination. Perhaps after we've pieced this puzzle together, the mayor will have a few additional words for us. Several news people were rescued. That's doing things the way they should be done. Good work, D Platoon. The good news is that we've got a terrorist in custody. The arresting officer will receive the appropriate commendation. Today was as bad as it gets, but you performed with great skill and courage, neutralizing dangerous terrorists. There will be an investigation, but I'm confident that the actions taken will be ruled in-policy shootings. You guys slipped up and an officer got hurt. Don't let it happen again. Considering that Metro itself was attacked by well-equipped terrorists with the advantage of surprise, we performed quite well, doing what had to be done to neutralize the situation. Good job. To summarize, over the past few hectic months, we've seen a lot of terrorist activity, culminating in the siege on Metro today. Perhaps by examining what we know, we'll uncover the motivation for this senseless violence. The composition of explosives is unique, varying from manufacturer to manufacturer and batch to batch. We know that incendiaries recovered from the Mojave Gravel Quarry match those found at the site of the Valley Riot. Therefore, we assume a connection between those two incidences. PCE is an unusual analog of the hallucinogen PCP, commonly known as angel dust. The fact that we confiscated bags of PCE at both the Melody Trailer Park and the Topanga Canyon compound establishes the link, albeit a tenuous one, between the residents at these two locations. Whether one group was selling and the other buying, or whether they're all part of the same organization, is as yet unknown. We know the M40A1 sniper rifles recovered from the Topanga Canyon compound match those confiscated during the attempt to assassinate the mayor in Griffith Park. Those snipers obviously belong to a well-funded, well-equipped organization. Victory Federal provided us with the serial numbers of the money stolen from the bank. Some of this money showed up at the phony domestic dispute call-up. No doubt this organization is perpetrating robberies to finance their terrorist operations. During the hostage situation in the law office, we recovered the suspect's cell phone. Hitting the redial connected us with an address in geographic proximity to the phony domestic call-up. Further investigation at the auto body repair shop showed it to be abandoned, but in such a hurry that the lights were still on. The owners checked out clean, but I suspect a connection between the shop employees and the residents at 5150 Old Chatsworth Road. During the call-up in Lawyer Finch's office, one enterprising officer recovered a brochure for a proposed housing development. This development was to be built on the Mojave Gravel Quarry site. On contacting the quarry's owner, we learned that a local business consortium had been pressuring him to sell to them. This he refused to do. He thought he'd heard the last of them, but then the quarry exploded. Now this is where things get interesting. Suspecting a connection between Finch and Reston, we got a search warrant for the lawyer's office. Detectives went through the files and discovered that Finch is legal counsel for the business consortium. This group of entrepreneurs includes some of the richest men and women in Los Angeles, and in a shocking conflict of interests, our own dear Mayor Prescott. From all the evidence gathered, it appears that Mayor Prescott has betrayed the public's trust by putting his self-interests above those of the electorate. It's also apparent that his business consortium has ties to a terrorist organization known as the Five Eyes. Perhaps this explains why someone would want to take pot shots at you in the park, Mayor Prescott. You want to tell us about it?
It wasn't all my fault. Yes, I belong to a selective group of LA businessmen who only have the best interests of the city at heart. We wanted to build a progressive, user-friendly living environment for our worthy citizens. The quarry was the best possible location. Unfortunately, the owner wouldn't accept our generous offer. Thaddeus Keller was handling the deal, but after he freaked out, we turned it over to Finch. Finch contacted an organization he said would help us persuade the quarryman to sell. At first, the Five Eyes didn't want the job, some nonsense about conflicting doctrines. They said they had available resources of their own. I assume by that they meant the bank robbery. However, after you raided their headquarters, they contacted us, agreeing to help us out in exchange for money and weapons to replace those SWAT confiscated. Well, they screwed up the job at the quarry, and got their trailers raided as well. But we decided to use them for one more job. We figured that a riot at the Valley Shopping Center would drive down the price of some property we had our eyes on. That worked out all right. But the Five Eyes demanded more money in exchange for silence. I knew the location of another one of their safe houses, so I called in a phony domestic dispute knowing SWAT would respond and take them out. But rather than scaring them off, that just made them madder. One of their leaders called on Finch, their only connection to us. He must have tortured the lawyer to reveal my involvement. Then, when they tried to kill me, right in public view, I tell you, these bastards are insane! After that, they threatened to go to the police with information that would get me not only impeached, but many important businessmen indicted as well. Just imagine what that would do to the financial structure of the city. I came to Metro to try to get them before they could get to you. Well, you know the rest.
The higher they are, the further they fall. Mayor, forgive me for speaking my mind, but you are a complete idiot. However, I have to thank you for helpfully providing the information that links all the evidence. We'll keep you and your cronies in protective custody until the trial, so at least you don't have to worry about any more assassination attempts. That the Five Eyes dared attack Metro Station is a black mark against the credibility of the LAPD. I think we've taken out most of that organization, and we'll soon mop up any remaining dregs. My personal career's on somewhat shaky ground, but I'm sure the mayor's confession will help vindicate my actions to the investigation committee.
And that is the SWAT 2 SWAT campaign best ending for collecting all the evidence and having the mayor alive in the end. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.